All right, and we will start with the Education and Pupil Services Committee in-person and virtual meeting. I don't think we need to go through the public participation procedures. We're still in all that. So the district posted this evening's agenda to board docs at least 24 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting. Is there a motion to approve that previously posted agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any amendments to offer? All right, there are no amendments. This agenda has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please signify by saying I oppose, and say by saying I oppose. Those abstaining, please signify by saying I abstain. Motion carried. I will now turn over the Education and Pupil Services Committee agenda to co-chair Director Brittany Williams. Take it away, Brittany.
Thank you. Dr. Manfrey and Ms. Kelly, would you mind reviewing the agenda items, and you can go right into them. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight we have 3 items. The first one is the District Title I TSI and ATSI title or school level plans. Dr. Manfrey and Ms. Simone will go through an overview of the schools that are identified and the plans that have been submitted, and also the highlights of some key takeaways from all the plans that are important to discuss tonight. Second item will be the 24-25 professional development calendar. Dr. Kelly will go through that as an annual update and for board action tonight. And the third of which is policy 237, which is electronic communication devices. So if you're okay, Ms. Williams, I'll kick it over
Yes, please
to
proceed. Thank you.
Dr. Manfrey and Ms. Simone.
This evening, we plan on reviewing with you, Mrs. Kelly and I, our school level planning process and specifically the plans of the schools that have been federally designated and those schools that are Title I schools. As a reminder, though, to the board and to the public, Upper Darby School District requires all of our schools to go through the school improvement planning process. We feel that it's very important that our school leaders develop a school leadership team that helps to put together our school level plans. So whether you're a Title I school or federally designated or not in Upper Darby, you're required to put those plans together. In addition to that, I would like the board and the public to know that all of our principals at both the secondary level and elementary level reviewed these plans with their home and school associations and have posted these plans to their school website. So that work has already been completed. We will be asking the board to approve these Title I and federally designated school plans at the August board meeting. The reason we're not asking for that this evening is that we are still waiting for the Title I budget from the state, which is part of our Title I schools plans. And therefore, once we have that budget and we are able to put those budget numbers into our school plans for our Title I schools, which should happen relatively soon, we're hoping, we'll be able to have those plans approved by you. They are due to the state by September 1st. So this evening, what we plan on doing is making sure that the board and the public understands the definitions of the federal designations. So federal designations include comprehensive support and improvement, additional targeted support and improvement, and targeted support and improvement. Our targeted school improvement schools are Hillcrest Elementary School, Beverly Hills Middle School, Drexel Hill Middle School, and Upper Darby High School. Upper Darby School District also has additional targeted support and improvement schools. They are Charles Kelly Elementary School, and you will see that Beverly Hills Middle School, Drexel Hill Middle School, and Upper Darby High School are listed under both targeted school improvement schools and additional targeted support and improvement schools. They fall under both of those categories. We're going to review with you our schools' strengths, the schools that have been federally designated, and our title schools. We're going to review with you some of the challenges that these schools are facing, and Mrs. Simone will be talking to you about the exit criteria and what the schools need to do to be removed from those federal designations. So what is a targeted school improvement school? A targeted school improvement school is a school in which performance by one or more student group is at or below state established standards. A TSI designation is kind of a warning signal to schools that they are in danger of falling below CSI thresholds. And so these are one-year designations, these TSI designations, and they can be removed from one year to the next. An additional targeted support and improvement school is a school in which performance by one or more student group is at or below the level of a CSI school. A comprehensive support and improvement school is facing the most significant challenges in academic achievement, student growth, and other areas. We do not have any CSI schools at this time in Upper Darby School District. So to be a CSI school is based on combined achievement in data in math and ELA, not exceeding the threshold. With that, you have to fall below state designated performance levels on high school graduation or English learner proficiency, or fall below state designated performance levels on both regular attendance and career readiness indicators. So there are several different components to a school becoming a CSI federally designated school. To review Hillcrest Elementary School's strengths, some highlights. These are by no means the only strengths that Hillcrest Elementary School has, but for time's sake, we only are talking about a few. The state has recognized Hillcrest Elementary School's Positive Behavior Intervention Supports Program. The all student group is exceeding growth expectations in math. The Black student group is exceeding growth expectations in math at Hillcrest, and students with disabilities are meeting growth expectations in math. The all student group is meeting growth expectations in ELA. Black student group is meeting growth expectations in ELA, and students with disabilities are exceeding growth expectations in ELA. And of course, like all of our schools in Upper Darby School District, our career standards benchmark, all student group exceeded the performance standard. In fact, most of our schools have 100% participation in our career standard benchmark program. Hillcrest Elementary School challenges. Our all student group fell below the statewide average in ELA and math combined achievement, while our English learners fell below the statewide average in ELA and math combined achievement as well. That second bullet is the reason why Hillcrest Elementary School has been federally designated as a TSI school. Charles Kelly Elementary School strengths. Again, like most of our schools, the state has recognized Charles Kelly as a positive behavior intervention supports program. Our Hispanic students at Charles Kelly has increased their proficiency in ELA, and our Black student group increased proficiency in math. Our English learners exceeded the statewide average in growth, and again, our career standard benchmark all student group exceeded the performance standard. Here are our challenges. Students with disabilities group fell below the statewide average in ELA and math combined achievement, while our Black student group fell below the statewide average in ELA and math combined achievement. Our all student group fell below the statewide average for regular attendance. And just as a reference, regular attendance defined, and it's a lagging indicator, which means that it appears every 2 years. Students enrolled for 90 or more days and attending less than 90% of the days is the way they define it regular attendance. Ms. Simone?
Thank you, Dr. Manfrey, and good evening, everyone. Similar to our elementary schools, an area of strength at Upper Darby High School is our career standards. This means Upper Darby High School has met the full continuum of career readiness expectations defined for that grade span. When it comes to industry-based learning or how well our students are engaged in work and classroom-based activities by 12th grade, the all-student group exceeded the performance standard. In addition to our strong performance in career and work-based learning, all of our subgroups at the high school met or exceeded the academic growth relative to their entering achievement in biology. For the purpose of tonight's presentation, the challenges highlighted this evening are areas where our schools fall short of the state performance standard and those with federal designations. As Dr. Manfrey stated, designation occurs when a student group's performance falls below the CSI standard or threshold for academic proficiency, growth, and at least one additional indicator as derived from the two-year average, which in this case of the high school is combined achievement in math and ELA for students with disabilities, and additionally academic growth in one other indicator for our English learners, Black, Hispanic student groups, and our population of economically disadvantaged students. There are other areas of growth outlined in the high school plan, but the areas mentioned this evening directly relate to the state standards and the federal designation. Similar to our high school, both Beverly Hills Middle School and Drexel Hill Middle School met the full continuum of career readiness expectations, again defined for the grade span. In addition, the all-student group at Beverly Hills Middle School exceeded academic growth in ELA, which is true of Drexel Hill Middle School in the area of science. Additionally, the all-student group at Drexel Hill exceeded the statewide average in regular attendance. As I mentioned for the high school, the middle school's plans include action steps to improve in growth areas other than the designated areas, as you see here. Still tonight, I'm highlighting the focus areas of designation. At Beverly Hills Middle School, the focus of improvement for our Black, Hispanic, and students with disabilities groups is in the area of combined achievement for ELA and math, with other indicators identified specifically for our Black and Hispanic student groups. At Drexel Hill Middle School, the focus of improvement for English learners and economically disadvantaged groups is in the area of combined achievement for ELA and math and English language proficiency. It's okay. ATSI designated schools will have 4 years from their year of designation to satisfy certain standards called the exit criteria before additional interventions apply. In order for an ATSI school to exit, schools must show continued improvement on at least the academic achievement indicator and on any school quality or student success indicator for which the school was designated. For example, the high school designation for students with disabilities subgroup includes combined math and ELA achievement and growth and English language proficiency. In order for the high school to exit, there must be increased rates in all three categories, even if the increase is as small as 1/10 of a percentage point. As long as they're an increase, they would be exited. Lastly, schools must partner in agency-provided technical assistant activities through the statewide system of district and school improvement, which our designated schools do so by working very closely with the Delaware County Intermediate Unit. And I will say that, and I'm sure I can speak for Dr. Manfrey, but all of our principals have received tremendous support from our IU. You will not see an exit criteria for TSI school designations. They are reviewed every year, and they can change year to year. And that's why Dr. Manfrey had mentioned that some of our schools, particularly the secondary level, can have a TSI and an ATSI designation.
As I stated earlier in the presentation, not only are we required to do school improvement plans and have them approved by the board and the state for our federally designated schools, we're also required for our Title I schools to complete and have approved school improvement plans. Up on the screen now, you can see that there are seven Title I schools. Most of them are elementary schools, with the exception of Beverly Hills Middle School. Title I school common themes. Achievement continues to be a challenge in our title schools. However, I will say that several schools eclipsed the state percentage increase in math, ELA, and science. Also, generally speaking, in terms of growth, we meet or exceed statewide average in growth. That completes our presentation for our school improvement planning for title schools and federally designated schools. we are happy to field any questions you may have.
Any comments or questions from the board? All right, let's go into the professional development presentation.
Good evening. Tonight, I will be presenting the 24-25 professional development calendar. And each year, at this time of the year, we go through the professional development calendar. The calendar is developed with input from UDEA, the building principals, the other directors, and is based on the days that are approved on the one-page school calendar that was approved back in March of this year. So on this slide, it shows the breakdown of the number of days and the number of hours that we have built into the school calendar for professional development of our staff and teachers. So you'll see on this calendar, or you'll see on this slide, excuse me, the total hours and all of the dates that would appear on the one-page calendar. If you totaled up the total hours here based on the level, so elementary, middle, and high school, all varying just a little bit depending on those early dismissal days, we have about 78 to about 86 hours that are used for professional development. That may seem like a lot of hours when we're talking about it, but if you think about how they're going to be broken down and all of the initiatives that we have, the state mandates, the trainings that we have to do for our staff, it really doesn't boil down to all of those hours not being really enough for what we have to accomplish during the school year. On this next slide, you will see all of the initiatives that we have. You'll see the mandates that we have to cover. We break down the days by building level days and curriculum days. The building level days are for the building principal to cover what they need to for their building to support their teachers. So you'll see our action research, you'll see our data meetings, you'll see our PBIS initiatives, as Dr. Manfrey and Mrs. Simone just covered, our SEL programs. You'll also see the mandated trainings that we have to do for the state, our PSSA training, our Keystone training, compliance training, structured literacy, all of those pieces, our building level PDs, and all take away from that time, that 78 to 86 hours. We then have to support our curriculum initiatives and preparing our teachers to teach the content that they have to teach. And those are our district initiatives, our technology initiatives, our curriculum and instruction initiatives that we're going to be covering in the 24-25 school year that are listed below. Many of the district initiatives will not be new this year. We'll continue a lot of the same work that we have started in the 23-24 school year and carry it through into the 24-25 school year. A few small changes are just back to just planning and really focusing on content level standards and planning and preparation for teachers. So they get some of that time back to really get good at their craft. So that's my short and sweet presentation for this evening. This is our annual presentation, like I said, and is based off of our one-page calendar. So the dates have been there. All I did tonight was define what those dates would be used for from my office to the staff. Are there any questions?
So November 5th is a full day. Is that in every building?
So Board President Fields, I know you're referring to Election Day next year. We are planning and will have a full remote professional development day where we will not have teaching staff in the facilities.
Okay, that's it. That's a good idea. Thank you. The staff will appreciate it too, and
that doesn't go for us. That goes for the teachers.
Okay, as long as you guys all park here.
Are there any public comments at this time? Any online comments?
There aren't any.
Okay. Oh, we have one more agenda item. I'm sorry.
Policy 237 is on the agenda this evening, and as was mentioned mentioned during the June 4th board meeting when this policy underwent a first reading, Policy 237 is being updated so that the use of personal electronic devices, i.e. cell phones, by elementary and middle school students is prohibited during the school day and during any activity supervised by the district. That would include on district buses and vehicles. And second, the use of personal electronic devices, i.e. cell phones, by high school students in the classroom or during any education-related activity is prohibited. There are a couple exceptions, and the full marked up policy and the summary of changes is posted to board docs. That concludes my quick summary.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? All right. I think at this time we can review the agenda items again.
Okay, so tonight we had 3 items, first of which are the TSI Title I and ATSI school level plans. Excuse me, that's for board action in August. The second item is the professional development calendar for next school year. That's for board action tonight. And the third is policy 237, also for board action tonight.
Thank you. I'll turn it back over to President Fields.
Thank you, Director Brittany Williams. And sorry to jump on your presentation accidentally. I was still in the mode from the previous meeting. A motion is in order for adjournment of the Education and Pupil Services meeting.
I'm sorry. Just to make sure that we have that
Oh,
of the
yeah,
items that are there,
move
the
everything.
school improvement plans, they're okay to move forward in August. And the other
Yes.
2 items are okay to move forward to voting this evening. Is that fair to say to everybody?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thanks, everybody.
All right. A motion is in order for adjournment of the Education and Pupil Services Committee meeting.
So moved.
Second. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.